Hi, how are you, students? Good afternoon, everyone. We will be discussing the continuation of our lesson last week. If you still remember, we discussed about the meaning of cost control and what are those various types when we say cost. And also, we studied the word accountability and the responsibility of a manager's function. So now we will continue our lesson with the topic industry in the manager's role. So this is just an overview, no? Para mas makita lang natin um, in what aspect pa, no, ng responsibility makikita natin na nagfa-function ng isang manager. Okay? So, please be specific. So, managers ba saan? Of course, sa hospitality industry. Okay? So, moving on. Our learning objectives. At the end of the session, the students must be able to identify the manager's role in the industry. And number two, let's differentiate expense, revenue, and forecasting. So, did you know that managers are vital to the success of any industry? Because they are acting as the link between the company's day-to-day operations. So, yung role nila, um, one is that they are tasking, no? Sa kanilang mga ginagawa sa operation, and they need to require the combination of leadership, yung operational expertise nila, and also the strategic thinking. So, sa hospitality industry, makikita natin na hindi pwedeng mag-function ng isang, say for example, a food service, no? Food service establishment without the presence or without the lead, which are the managers. Because industry may refer to what? Different sectors. So, kung meron tayong different sectors, no, sa industry, of course, may mga managers din dapat tayo na dapat mag-exist with their expertise. Okay? So, ayan. So, in the growing food service industry, the role of the food and beverage manager is to carry out four major activities to achieve financial results for his or her company. Since our course or subject is cost control, no, talagang bibigyan natin class ng highlight itong pagmamanage nila regarding with the expenses, no, yung in and out ng budget, and of course, ano ba yung pinakamahalagang makita natin with this course in the presence of the manager's role is yung financial result, no, at the end of the day. So yung financial result na yan, maa-achieve yan if itong apat, no, na nakikita nyo ngayon dito sa ating slides is magagawa. So number one is the communication. Number two is the cost control. Number three, revenue enhancement. And lastly, the forecasting. So, gaano ba kahalaga ang communication sa isang operation? Okay? Gaano siya ka-importante? So, based on the definition here, communication is the ongoing process of exchanging information between different departments and people both within and outside the organization. So, as we can see here, communication is the fundamental, no, aspect of both personal and professional life. So, sabihin na natin, effectiveness is critical in any industry. Okay? So particularly in the context of professional setting, no? So paano ba natin bibigyan ng importance ang communication. So, number one, to give importance is we need to, or we are required, no, as managers to have the verbal communication na tinatawag. So, that's part of communication, tama? So, yung verbal communication natin, whether face-to-face, pwedeng telephonic or virtual, or ano pa ba? Pwede din tayo through video conferencing, or any other common business settings. As long that we can express our thoughts, no? Kung paano natin i-deliver yon sa ating mga tauhan, yung mga hinahandle nating tao, it's very important. So, yung face-to-face communication natin, this is directly form of communication, wherein the message is conveyed through the spoken words in person. Sabi nga nila, mas magandang kinakausap mo yung tao mo, no? Sa loob ng company halimbawa, no? If there's a problem or merong kailangang i-address na issue and whatsoever, it's better to have a direct communication. And it allows for the immediate feedback and the ability to read non-verbal cues. So, mas na-address ng mas mabilis, mas nakikita yung problem ng mas um, maaga, no? Kesa yung nakita natin yung problema late na because of miscommunication or pwedeng walang direct communication na ginawa within the company. Okay? And we have also the telephonic or virtual as part of the communication. So, kung hindi natin ma-reach directly yung tao mo halimbawa, as a manager, we can do other means para maparating natin yung message natin. Okay? Sa kanila. And then, meron din naman tayong, say for example, meron tayong ma-encounter na mga staff natin na they're not telling anything to you na may problem na, no? Kasi may mga may mga klase rin ng tao na they don't want confrontation, they don't want any too much time para pag-usapan pa yung mga bagay-bagay even that is serious. May mga ganong attitude or personalities ang managers na pwedeng makita sa mga tao nila. So that is a basic example na pwede natin ngayong gawin or i-apply yung nonverbal communication na dapat as manager mabilis mong ma-observe or yung instinct mo like yung mga body language nila, yung facial expression nila, yung gestures, posture and eye contact, no? Baka diyan meron gustong sabihin, i-communicate yung tao mo nang hindi mo alam. So, pwede rin 'to maging means natin para maunawaan din natin sila. So, hindi gano'n kadali, no, for the managerial position. Kasi, there are times na kailangan mong, aralin at the same time yung mga taong hawak mo, okay? And makakasama mo sa work. And then we have also the process of exchanging information. Meron din naman tayong written communication. So ito naman, dito papasok yung mga emails, business communication, mga formal exchanges, updates, instructions, and documentation. So, if ever may mga kailangan tayong i-file, no, or may kailangan tayong i-send, formal letter to our staff, no, is we can use the written communication as well. And then, what else? So, next slide natin. We have the cost or expense control. To control cost management, institute procedures, and monitors feedback to ensure that all parts of the organization are functioning effectively and moving toward overall company goals. So which means, ano yung pwede nating makita dito sa cost or expense control? Again, we have the word procedures and monitoring feedback. Okay? So cost or expense control, this is referring to the process of monitoring, no, managing and reducing the costs and expenses of the business to maximize profitability. So it involves like what? Identifying areas where expense can be minimized or mabawasan without, gaya ng nabanggit ko sa inyo last time, without compromising the quality of products or it can be services, and implementing strategies to ensure what? The costs are kept within budget limits or budgeted limits. Okay? Meron tayong tinatawag na key aspect of cost or expense control. So um to control of course the expense, we need the word budgeting. So itong budgeting na to, it's very common, naririnig na natin ever since, pero we need to establish a financial plan as a manager that outlines what? The expected revenues and expenses over the specific period. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo last time that we need to allocate certain budget for a certain needs, no? Hindi tayo pwedeng maglagay ng budget because of subjective lang natin siyang inisip. So we need to allot or allocate a budget objectively. Okay? And a budget serves a benchmark for measuring actual performance against planned financial outcomes. Okay? So, ano pa ba? Aside from budgeting, how can we control the expense? Of course, to monitor. As you can see from the definition here. So, paano ba mo monitor, ma'am, Steph? So, regularly tracking actual expenses and comparing them to the budget to identify variances. Okay? So, when we say regularly, so if kakayanin nating every day to trace those expenses, no, na pwede nating pagbasihan from the day 1 and day 2 budget or expense natin, at least makikita natin baka merong discrepancy doon sa amount na naka-jot down doon sa ating tracking. Okay, so that's part of monitoring. And also, if we have the monitoring processes sa expense control, it will help the organization, no? Or it can be the restaurant or yung business in spotting areas where costs are exceeding expectations, no? And taking corrective action promptly. Kasi di naman tayo pwedeng manghula kung wala naman tayong concrete details or proof na pwedeng nag-over-exceed tayo sa budget or pwedeng um, kinukulang tayo sa budget sa particular na need na to ng ating operation. So with that, if we can see the result, of course, we can take corrective action promptly. So as a manager, kailangan mabilis yung kilos, no? Mabilis yung galaw natin pagdating dito sa mga bagay na to. Okay? And of course, as part of the expense, no, na i-control natin siya is yung tinatawag din na analysis. So again, kanina, ano yung una kong sinabi? We have the budgeting, monitoring, and pangatlo is analysis. Okay? Analysis means you need to analyze as a manager the cost drivers and identifying areas where expense can be reduced or optimized. So, in what particular areas ba tayo dapat magbawas? Gaya na nabanggit ko last time, magbawas ba ng tao or magbabawas tayo ng presyo ng sinesell out natin sa guest? Or pwede mong i-optimize? Or baka pwede tayong magdagdag ng tao or magdagdag pa ng selection of menu para mas madami tayong sales at mas maraming mapagpilian ang mga client or customers natin. And the more na mas marami tayong offer, mas kailangan natin ng tao. So, alin doon? So, you need to have an analysis. So, this may involve um, involve number one, yung reducing waste or improving operational efficiency. So, if we will analyze, no, itong process na to, i-apply natin, makikita rin natin dito, from my example a while ago, if kailangan ba natin magdagdag ng mga menu para mas maraming pumasok na sales, mas marami tayong customer na mahikayat, no? So ngayon, the more na marami tayong menu to offer sa customers natin, malaki din yung risk nito na pwedeng magkaroon ng waste. So ngayon, in what way din natin ma-reduce yung waste na kahit marami tayong stocks, is kaya natin siyang ma-move, no? From time to time. So that's part of analysis. So mahirap siyang balansehin kasi we don't know eh. We don't know the run of the customers kung kailan ba nila gustong kumain ng sabay-sabay, no? Sa restaurant na 'yan or kung kailan ba nila gustong tumambay sa restaurant na 'yan para ubusin lahat ng ating puwedeng i-offer, okay. So ang hirap niyang balansehin pero by means of analyzing, so kahit papaano meron tayong tool, 'no, na makikita kung paano natin sisimulan yung reducing and optimizing. Okay? And what else? Yeah. So meron din tayong revenue enhancement. So revenue is a term used interchangeably with income or sales, money received by a business minus returns and discounts in a given period of time. So if a business is to succeed or even just survive, revenue must be great enough to pay for the cost of goods sold and other expenses and to provide sufficient net income. So do you still remember how we define revenue? So now this is part of the managerial role, what we call revenue enhancement. Okay. Again, this is referring to the total amount of money generated, no, by a company from its business activities. So typically through what? The sale of goods and pwede rin pong services. So sometimes it refers to the top line or as the top line because what? Bakit sinabing top line? Because of what? Naririnig nyo ba yung salitang top line kapag meron tayong ini-involve na revenue? Okay, top line is referring to what? This is the top of a company's income statement and this is the starting point for determining profitability. Again, when we say top line, this is the top of a company's income statement and this is the starting point for determining profitability. So the key aspect, no, pwede kong maibigay sa inyo for the revenue is what we call the sales and service revenue. Okay, so that we can enhance more. Okay, so sales revenue, this is the income generated from selling products or services. This is the common source of revenue per business coming from selling products and services. So, ang kaibahan niya sa service revenue, this is earning from providing service rather than goods. Common in industries like what? Hospitality and education. Okay? So again, pag sinabi nating sales revenue, this is the income generated from selling products and services. Ang kaibahan niya sa service, ito naman yung earning from providing services rather than goods that is common sa hospitality industry. Okay? So, makikita natin from the revenue enhancement, so pwede nating ma-achieve yung success if we're both offering goods and services. Okay? So, both naman kasi may earning yan eh. Meron pa ring profit tayo makukuha dyan. Okay? So, hindi tayo pwede mag-offer ng goods lang and then walang service. So, dapat parehas sila. Goods and service is better so that meron tayong masasabing top line going back kanina sa in-explain ko kanina, which is the income the top of the company's income statement. And this is the starting point for determining profitability. Kasi the more na marami tayong ino-offer sa customer, mas malaki yung chance na malaki din ang magiging profit natin. And that's the way we think for the revenue enhancement. If nag-start pa lang tayo to offer goods, why not we offer services? Parang ganun siya. Okay? Or kung nag-offer ka naman ng services lang, why not offer ka din ng goods? So as a role of a manager, you need to think on how you will enhance no in whatever the strategy that you want to do sa operation or good if both in offer mo na. So ano pa yung pwede mong gawin para mas mapalaki pa natin yung profit na pwedeng pumasok no sa ating company or organization. So aside from that, we have the revenue and expense formula. So, para makuha natin yung profit, yan yung number one formula natin, revenue, we need to subtract it sa expenses para makuha natin yung profit. Or other formula, revenue minus desired profit equals ideal expense. So, ano naman siya, baliktad. And then, we have expense divided by revenue equals expense. Okay? So, yung expense na tinutukoy dito is yung overall expenses, no? For the specific need. Okay? And then sa baba, makikita ninyo yung merong beige na shade, which is the revenue 100% coming from food and beverage cost, labor cost, and other expense. And then um, divided by profit, and that would be the revenue na kailangan natin for the specific need. Okay? So again, magkaiba po ang revenue sa profit para hindi tayo malito. Okay? So pag sinabi nating ayan. Pag sinabi nating revenue, this is the total income from sales. While profit is what remains after all expenses. So yung mga expenses natin, dito galing yung cost of goods, no? Goods sold ha, operating expenses, taxes, and so on. So again, when we say revenue, this is the total income from sales. While profit is what remains after all expenses. So dun sila nagkakaroon ng pagkakaiba. Okay? Though parehas silang need, parehas pa ring amount itong tinutukoy natin, pero sa magkaibang way sila nanggagaling. Okay? But still, dun pa rin from the day-to-day operation. So when we say forecasting, this is the process of estimating or predicting future expenses and revenues. So sino sa inyo dito magaling mag-forecast pagdating sa ambagan sa laboratory? Ayan. Sino dito yung sinabi lang yung menu ng dish, kaya niya na agad budgetan? Okay. We will prepare or cook grilled salmon, no, with special sauce. So, ang costing natin dyan, possible, 399 pesos. So, that is a matter of forecasting when it comes sa budget. So, sino may skill sa inyo ng ganyan? Again, because this is something to do with the process of, again, predicting future expenses, or it can be future statistical analysis or other relevant information. But in the context of business, like this one, we have the subject cost control. Forecasting is used to estimate future financial outcomes. Again, forecasting is used to estimate future financial outcomes. So, such as what? Sales, revenue, expenses, and market trends. So, ano naman, kung malaman natin that this is the definition of forecasting in the context of business. So it helps the companies, the restaurant, the food service establishment to make informed decisions or concrete plan for the future. So that's why it's very vital to have, or everybody is requiring to have this kind of um can I say, behavior or part of the attitude that you know to forecast, no? So, the key aspect for forecasting is meron tayong tinatawag na quantitative forecasting and we have the qualitative. Pag sinabi po natin quantitative forecasting, we will use numerical data and statistical models. So more of ano siya, more of numbers. So for example, sa stocks, one crate, one bag, one sack, one bunch, that is quantity. So, doon natin ine-express yung data natin sa dami, sa weight. Pero pag qualitative naman, it relies on what? It can be research, it can be market research rather, or subjective analysis rather than numerical data. Okay? So, ano yung example natin ng qualitative forecasting? Say for example, brand ng sugar. Okay? So, nag-aano tayo ng market research or nagiging subjective tayo. So, for example, mas maraming gumagamit ng white sugar compare sa brown sugar. So, that is qualitative forecasting. Kasi ang idea natin, baka mas magustuhan ng customer natin yung halo-halo natin na ino-offer if we will suggest or if we will put white sugar rather than brown sugar. And that is qualitative kasi you are referring to the subjective analysis, no? Based on the market. Or ano pa bang sample natin aside from sugar. Yan, limbawa is milk tea, no? So now, qualitative forecasting, mas marami tayong pamimilihin na stocks na winter melon flavor, no, compare sa Okinawa powdered milk. Why? Based on the market research and subjective din ang ating analysis na we feel like marami kasi nagkakagusto sa winter melon milk tea compare sa Okinawa milk tea. So, ito yung mas damihan nating product. So, ngayon, hindi kayo nagiging after dun sa quantitative or yung numbers that is, you know what, nagre-reflect dun sa pinaka-result ng statistic. Okay, ano ba ma'am yung statistic at numerical data? So, for example, yung one sack, halimbawa ng Okinawa milk tea is pwede palang makagawa ng 1,000 cups. Pero itong pinili mong winter melon milk tea na one sack din, pero dahil mas subjective tayo na nag-judge, no? A judgment is like that. Mas alam mo kasi or feel mo na mas mabibili ang winter melon milk tea without knowing yung one sack lang pala ng winter melon is nakakagawa ng 500 cups kahit parehas silang one sack. Eh kasi magkaiba ng measurement pala eh. Do you get that point? So, dun ngayon nagkakaiba yung forecasting natin. So, sa day-to-day operation, lagi may quantitative and qualitative forecasting. So, you need to estimate and predict the future expenses based dito sa aspect na sinabi ko sa inyo ngayon. So, ang hirap talaga niya, class. Though, sa manager's role kasi, very common sa responsibility nila, pero challenging. Oh, okay, marami tayong matututunan sa ganitong klase ng work, lalo na sa mga sinabi ko na sa inyo last time, you're aspiring to be manager soon. Hindi lang talaga iikot sa paghahawak ng tao yung tatrabahuin ninyo. And even forecasting, parang it's very challenging for you. Kasi yung prediction din natin somehow, hindi man 100% sumapul tayo dun or tumama tayo, at least 80 to 90% tama yung prediction natin because of the data. Okay? Na naka-reflect or ino-note natin from time to time. Okay? So, ayan. So, I guess this is the last slide. Okay? So, meron kayong seat work na gagawin today. You need to submit it also ngayon. And then, pag natapos, is pwede ko na kayong bigyan ng chance to have your snacks and whatever you want to do sa spare time ninyo. So, the instruction I'll be sending sa ating GC. Okay? And if you have questions and clarifications naman, do not hesitate na lang siguro mag-PM just for today doon sa GC natin for some questions. Kahit wala mo ng email sa ngayon. Kasi hindi ko ma-open yung email ko at this moment. So, pwede tayo mag-PM if you have question. So, I hope and pray naintindihan natin the continuation of our topic last time. And I guess that's all for today. Thank you for your time and effort listening. No? And, ayan. Thank you and God bless everyone.